Welcome to Drum LCK. My name is John, and today we're going to jump into episode 4 of our Learn the Legend series. Today we're taking a look at the mighty John Bonham. Let's go. John Bonham, the greatest rock and roll drummer of all time, known for playing drums for Led Zeppelin. What can you say about the guy? He had the groove, he had the speed, he had the chops, everything was there. Now we're going to take a look at the drum solo in the outro of the song Rock and Roll, which is on Led Zeppelin's album Led Zeppelin 4. Taking a look at the sheet music together, the first thing I noticed was the fact that it's only 6 or 7 measures and that it's at 171 beats per minute, which is pretty fast. But then you'll notice right here it says free time, meaning the drums at this moment, during this little train wreck type of a solo, he is no longer listening to a metronome, no longer worried about time. He's just going, and the band re-enters with some kind of visual cue. The next thing I want to point out is this little solo only uses the snare, kick, rack tom, floor tom, and some crash cymbals. That's it. No hi-hat like he usually does. No ride cymbal. Now, I want us to take a look at this only 2 measures at a time. A lot of times you can take a look at the whole piece, and it can be very overwhelming if you're not used to it. So if we just take a look at the first 2 measures, we notice at measure 1, we only have 1 note, and that's on the and after 4. Now, measure 2 has a downbeat on the snare drum on beat 1, and on the and after 2, we have 3 16th note triplets. Not too hard, but our sticking is going to be right, right, left. That's going to sound like this. Now for beats 3 and 4, we just have 4 8th notes going snare, rack, just like this. Now let's take that first chunk, which is just the first 2 measures, and play it all the way through. That's going to sound like this. Now the 3rd and 4th measures here is where the solo starts getting a little more difficult. This is what we're referring to as our second chunk. Starts out on beat 1, with a downbeat on the snare and 2 more 16th note snares on the and. Beat 2 of measure 3 has 2 8th notes on the rack tom. I like to play this as right, left. I think Bonham did it as left, left. Beats 1 and 2 together will sound like this. Now beats 3 and 4 and the entire next measure are the same pattern over and over again. And that's a hybrid rudiment called a herta. If you don't know what a herta is, it's pretty much just 2 fast notes, 2 slow notes. Dot, 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 dot. Dot, 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 dot. Now, the way he plays this is down the drums, snare, rack, floor, kick. Doing it twice back to back sounds like this. He does it 6 times in this solo, just like this. Now, if you decide to play along with the music, this part's a little weird because he kind of speeds up as he's doing the hertas. We're talking 5 to 10 beats per minute. So it can just be a little tricky to stay with the song, but you get used to it after a bunch of takes. Now, measures 3 and 4 all together should sound like this. Now let's take a look at the 3rd chunk, which is measures 5 and 6. Now this starts out with 4 linear 16th note triplets, and they're really what everyone refers to as the Bonham triplets because John Bonham made this pattern so popular. Now what makes this hard is the fact that he's starting with the left hand. It's left, right, kick, left, right, kick, left, right, kick, left, right. Now the first triplet starts with the rack tom, then the floor tom, then a kick, and the second triplet is snare drum, kick. Left, right, kick, left, right, kick. Should sound like this. Now we got to do that twice in a row, but on the last triplet, we're going to take away the kick drum. That should sound like this. Next, on beat 3, we have a quarter note on the snare drum, and beat 4 is very similar with a 16th note on the snare drum, followed by a dotted 8th note on the snare drum. All of measure 5 together should sound like this. And measure 6 has 1 more herta, the same exact way as before, just like this. Now putting measures 5 and 6 together, you should have this. And finally on measure 7, we just have a big crash with the kick drum on the downbeat. But again, this solo's in free time, so it's going to be hard to just kind of count that. So now I'm going to play the entire solo slowly, and then we're going to take a look at it at full speed. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, this is episode 4 of our Learn the Legend series. Our other episodes so far, we featured Tommy Lee, Lars Ulrich, and Bernard Purdy. I'll put a link in the description to each of those videos if you're interested. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and until next time, take care.